Above the Basement, Boston Music and Conversation is recorded at beautiful Woods Hill Table Restaurant in West Concord, Massachusetts. Woods Hill Table owns a farm in Bath, New Hampshire, where they raise their own meat. They offer a full raw bar and fresh fish caught off the coast of Massachusetts, and they even harvest their own maple syrup and honey for use in the restaurant. Local farms supply all their vegetables and grains, and Chef Charlie Foster uses international cooking techniques to create fantastic, seasonally focused cuisine. Go to woodshilltable.com for reservations or call 978-369-6300.
Hello, everyone. This is Ronnie Hirschberg at Above the Basement, Boston Music and Conversation. We sat down with Jen Kearney, who is a local, fantastic singer-songwriter. She combines funk, jazz, a little bit of pop, and Latin all in her work, and it's just great music. And we had the pleasure of sitting down with her and talking about her music, what makes her songwriting come together, and her influences. A review from Jed Gottlieb at the Boston Herald said that Kearney's booming soul voice and smart, tight songs provide the pillars of all the 8 tunes when talking about her album Age of Blame. And her band throws in a lot of awesome voodoo. For more information about Jen, check out her website at jenkearney.com. And here's our conversation with Jen. Great.
Let's see how you're doing.
Hi. I'm talking about my glass that doesn't have Above the Basement because I left mine at home, and my kids love that glass. I need another one. I have 2 kids. I need to have another glass.
I'll give you the one of the glasses that didn't come out okay. Like
This is
they're
a
kind
nice
of crooked.
cow. Yeah.
You get
a defective glass.
Sorry.
I know.
Well, no, he got a real nice one.
No, I didn't
Oh,
bring
okay.
it in.
So
But he
lost his.
He can only have one.
Penalized now.
You know,
Right.
the glasses aren't cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe they are.
Well, thanks for mine. I'm glad. It's very exciting.
This
Oh,
one
you're
has
welcome.
This one has a cow on it, and
That's cool.
you have a cow story.
Oh
about
yeah, the last
Woods
week
Hill.
we were here. It was me, and we had a guest host, and my sister came with. I hope you're not a vegetarian.
No.
She came
I
with.
failed. I failed for many times.
She came with a freshly butchered cow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Weighed tons, a ton.
Literally a ton.
Literally
Yeah.
a ton.
It's probably 2,000.
Kristen was going to bring them down bag by bag. It was already
Right.
bagged and everything like that.
I'm holding my hand up.
Yes, well-
What do you mean bag by bag?
Because
I thought you guys literally had the big frozen cow.
No, it was already butchered.
Okay.
So the steaks were cut.
Yeah,
So-
in like
Okay.
a giant box, and the bones were gone and everything.
Yeah.
Well,
Obviously.
it was like 7 boxes, each weighing 500 pounds.
It was not a cow carcass that you just like rolled in here like it was the
giant-
old
No.
West.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
we led the cow down the stairs. So we've been recording this whole time.
Okay.
But we edit down to get rid of Ron if we can.
Yeah.
I'm on a
Can't-
separate channel that he
Can't.
can just delete me all
Yeah.
the time. He's got a button.
That's nice.
That reminds me, I need to get my notes. Go ahead
Okay.
and talk. Hold on.
The cows remind me of oxen.
Yeah, they're the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Bovine, right?
Yeah, they're both
Is that the word?
bovine, and I don't know how they're related, but I think an oxen's a lot larger.
Yeah.
And I know that it has horns, I
It-
believe, and it
it does.
carries very heavy things
Yeah.
with carts.
With carts.
Oxen cart.
So
Yeah.
welcome to the Farmers Podcast.
I was going somewhere with the oxen.
You were. Oh, yes, I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah, because I saw cow. I thought cow, giant frozen cow in the basement.
Yeah.
And then I thought of Jen's songs.
Yes.
But I actually, no, I did want to rewind a little bit because what I wanted to say is thank you for being here.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
And I remember meeting you a few years ago through Allison Kesslow, who
Right.
actually happened to be a guest
guess.
on Above the Basement.
She's cool.
Yeah, Allison's the, I was going to swear, she's the cool.
She's the bomb. You can say that.
She's the
The shies.
shies. Anyway, she's great. So, yeah, we met with the in a songwriter series and
Yes.
learn your songs and sort of prepared them without meeting you, which was sort of the whole idea of it.
Right.
And I remember learning the Ollie Ollie Oxen Free song, which is
Year of the Ox.
Year of the
That's
Ox.
called, Yep.
And I remember thinking how unique it was that you played acoustic guitar on that.
Yeah.
And it was sort of this stylistic thing where it was your voice, it was your style, but it was so different than everything else that you did from Latin and jazz and sort of piano-based, and both sort of in the same magnitude of awesomeness. I thought they were very
thanks.
cool.
Thanks.
So it was really cool to meet you then and to be able to play some music.
So your question was...
Jen Kearney's with us.
Yes.
And
But weren't you going to finish? Did you have a thought that I told you to hold on to?
Can I please?
I'm trying.
I'm just going to let you guys let you do it.
There, what I thought was really neat this year, forgive me, I don't know when it started, but there's a guy named Cotgrove, Mark, who found your music somewhere out there, and you said, what, CD Baby?
Yeah, CD Baby, when that was like the first online CD store, this guy started. And so Mark Cotgrove, his nickname is Snowboy. He's a Latin percussionist in the UK.
Yeah, and he found your
Warm Bath
music.
Eyes. Yep, that song.
And then I guess that's what I was thinking when we were talking about Oxen, is that he recorded Oxen Free.
He did.
And then Better.
Yep.
And I listened to both versions, and it's really neat to have someone not only cover your music, but just to sort of seek you out and ask you out of the blue.
Right.
And what a neat story.
Yeah, I guess it's been a few years, though, that I've known him, so it wasn't completely out of the blue that he did that. This was probably like 5 or 6 years ago. He was working for the BBC for the Craig Charles show. It was like a funk radio show that was on BBC Six, and I guess he must have been looking for music and found mine, and then it sort of progressed into me signing to this European label for a little while, and then just been corresponding with him ever since. And he just released his 19th album, and he's really the arrangements he did are really cool. Yeah, they're really crazy good. So
to have someone interpret your tune, that must have been great. And so tell me about Oxen Free and how that relates to the Year of the Ox.
So the Year of the Ox is the album itself. I kind of, as a kid, I was super into, I think I was 13 when I heard Dark Side of the Moon for the first time. And that's like a whole story. It's a whole concept, and just blew me away, Yeah. So big Pink Floyd fan. And so for some reason, I wrote this song that was, you get those placemats at the Chinese restaurant that tell you what animal you are in the Chinese zodiac, and I wrote this song, The Year of the Ox, and then I kind of just started thinking about, there was this other thing, I'm sort of nerdy, and I'll just look up things and go down these rabbit holes, and I looked up, a little bit more about the whole concept of the ox thing in zodiac speak, I guess, and there was something else. There was like these Japanese carvings on this temple, and they kind of they show you how to, it's basically a metaphor for the ox, is a metaphor for the mind that's crazy and kicking, and you slowly have to tame it, and it goes through these, I guess it's 10
so the Japanese version of the Chinese,
it's totally a different, no, it's not, it's like a separate thing, but somehow I found this concept of the ox being your mind, and then you slowly have to tame it. And so I started writing the songs based on those carvings, like as they associate to my life. And it was kind of a big rabbit hole to go down. I don't know, but that's what I did. I wrote an album that was kind of a concept.
That's neat. It doesn't happen very much anymore.
No.
Those concept albums.
So the Oxen Free is like one of the last songs, and obviously you're trying to get your mind to be still and free. And
interesting.
And also it ties into the concept of the little hide and seek. Said all
well, that's what I always, Ali, Oxen Free was,
Yep.
It's sort of like Dark Side of the Moon. It's concept.
Well, I don't know if it was, I won't compare myself to Pink Floyd, but that was the idea.
No, but
it
was
really
still
good
full circle there,
yeah,
Jen,
that was the idea, that album.
I love how the styles come together.
Remind me how you guys met. It was through Allison. Well, but you've known Allison now for 20 years now, right?
Yeah, but not initially. I mean, so
how long have you known each other?
You and I have known each other, maybe
2,
5.
3, 5.
Has it been 5 years, maybe? Since the first time
it seems
we
longer
did
with Ron, doesn't it?
I know.
Well, the Acton Jazz Cafe was still in its second location.
Correct.
So whatever that
I think it's been 3 years.
3 years, okay.
2013.
That's when you did the songwriter series.
Yes.
You did that at the Acton Jazz Cafe.
Yes.
That's okay. That's when
I said that before you weren't listening.
I'm sorry, did you say something? Yes, that's right.
I wasn't very
different.
I didn't eloquently say it though, the way that I didn't say it very well.
Well, they've been they were in like 3 different places, just kind of moving around since Acton Jazz
First
Cafe.
they were in like a bankish place for a long time.
Right.
And then they were across the street.
They were in the backside of a bank.
Right? Yeah.
That was the original title for Dark Side of the Moon.
Backside
of the bank. I like that.
That's now. That's very now. Backside of the bank after all this banking business has gone down.
Backside of the bank.
Chuck's an investment banker, you know.
Don't get on the backside of the bank. Be on the business end of the bank.
I'm operational.
You are?
I'm not an investment banker.
I thought he was for a few
Sorry,
years.
I was just teasing him.
No, I know. Ron teases me all the time for being an investment banker.
So yeah,
It's not a
we
bad
met we met through to sort of Jen has always been a singer-songwriter, jazz, pop, rock, Latin musician, right?
I guess.
And,
Thanks for all that.
And you're sort of like that amalgam of all of that. But what is really cool is that it's unique in and of itself. I've heard, and obviously you've heard the comparisons of vocals.
Yeah.
I think it's like the influences just sort of come to all of us. And the fact that someone compares your voice to Stevie Wonder is obviously a cool compliment.
Yeah.
Because he's awesome.
Kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that's not even just coming from one reviewer.
Right.
It's like almost everybody said that. And the funny thing is I didn't read this review before I thought this.
Right.
But I was listening to your last album, which was Age of Blame. Right.
Yep.
I was listening to that. I'm like, gosh, this sounds like the Brand New Heavies.
Oh, cool.
And
I like them too.
Not many people I know who they are.
Yeah.
They had that big hit, Dream On, Dreamer.
Right. Yep.
That was such a great hit.
Yeah.
If they came back here, I would totally go see them.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
And then I
Yeah.
saw in a reviewer someone compared you to them.
Yeah.
Because of the funky sound that your
Yeah.
band has, Lost Onion.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we're kind of not using that name
Oh.
anymore. But yeah,
Oh,
at the
I'm sorry.
time, no, it's okay. It's fine. Don't worry.
But
It's
just-
literally lost.
It's literally lost.
so I mean, I've been listening to it in the house all weekend,
Nice.
and the kids were like, "Oh, this is really what is this?"
Oh, cool.
I'm like,
That-
I'm talking to this person on Monday. Isn't that cool? They're like, "Oh yeah." I guess
Kids
so."
are a big test because
Yes.
they are not easy.
They are.
Like they'll be like,
Oh,
"This
yeah.
is terrible." If they, if they
No,
won't mince words.
It's a great,
thanks.
funky sound. I love that with the bass lines in there, and it's a phenomenal album.
Thank you.
I love it.
But what I think about the comparison thing I want to mention about Stevie is that when I hear people say that, what the analogy that I think of is like someone's kid is a spitting image of you or looks like you.
Yeah.
When really it's the kid that basically just looks like the kid. They may have features,
Right.
but really it's like Johnny's Johnny.
Yeah.
And so Jen is Jen.
Yes.
And what's interesting is that you have these other influences that come that maybe subliminally, subconsciously have come into your style. But I just think that it's something that the human ear loves to listen to or loves that sort of timbre and that inflection and just the style of the actual voice.
Thanks.
And so it just happens to be similar to someone like that. But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have much choice with you. I mean, you're born with what you're physically born with.
You're stuck
and
with that
it's
voice, Jen.
Stuck with that voice.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I don't. I mean,
that's
I don't.
too bad.
I don't mean it in a bad way, but it's lower than most female voices, I suppose, and it's higher than like a male tenor, but it's somewhere in that in between where if a guy was to sing a Stevie Wonder tune, maybe they would have a hard time. But I guess it's been compared because it's kind of within the wheelhouse. I don't know. I don't want to really, like you said. I feel like it's. I don't know.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, and I'm very glad. I'm very thankful that comparison gets made. I think you're right that it's. I mean, obviously, it's not the only thing I've ever listened to or what's influenced me or what I've.
Of course. Right.
But
if it was, it'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you were nominated for Best Female Vocalist New England Music Awards.
I think it was like the best R&B. I don't know. I forget completely, to tell you the truth. I'm sorry, but I don't think it was a vocalist.
I think it was
thing.
Best R&B vocalist.
Or just R&B band. I don't know. Act. Either way, I was thankful to be nominated for
I'm going to do a little research right now.
Good
and
idea.
then I'll let you guys
Google
talk.
One of the things I was Googling you and I found you were opening for, was it the Los Lobos maybe concert you were opening for? It looks like a park ranger introduced you or something, right?
Yeah. It was in Lowell.
Yeah. And you came on and you started playing the piano. It was very, the funky part didn't start yet. It was kind of quiet. And then you started singing and it's like boom.
Yeah.
I mean,
thanks.
your voice is so powerful. It's almost like you. I mean, I've heard you. I was listening to your album already, and so I know how great a voice you have. But when you first start that note, whatever you're singing, it's just so like I mean, it's surprising. It's like, oh my gosh, what's coming out of this woman?
Thanks.
It's phenomenal.
Thank you.
It's phenomenal. We gotta have you sing for the frogs. That's what we definitely have to have you come on. Actually, you just sang for Ron on his song. Were you just at Woolly Mammoth?
I did. That's right. That was fun.
It was obviously
Woolly Mammoth. I love that place.
Had a big impact on you, right? You had to think for a second, right?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Had a big impact on me.
But I heard that after the fact, and that sounded great.
Thanks.
You left already.
That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we added horns to that. So someday in maybe 2018, we'll release that song.
So you said you're not using the Onion name anymore. So did you change? What happened?
It's just, it's been the name for a long time. I'm not going to try to date myself too much on how long. But I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where it's time to let the jersey kind of rise to the ceiling.
Okay.
And I'm just, for now, going by my own name for now.
Okay. And are you doing more solo stuff of just you and the piano, or are you still are you kind of mixing
Not necessarily. It's about the same.
Okay.
I always did solo stuff on the side and band stuff. I mean, it's, depends on the gig and the logistics and the
Okay.
So
I have an announcement to make.
Okay.
I've done some research on the internets,
Nice.
as they say, and this is the New England Music Awards.
Right.
And then March 10th in 2012, there was a post, and it speaks about this woman here playing at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Is that
Let's
you?
see.
I can't see.
Jen,
That's
Jen.
me.
That's
Yep.
far away. I can't see it.
Yeah, he's very old.
Oh, there you go. That's you.
Yep, there you go. Playing a Roland. Interesting.
that was, I think, what they had there, because it was kind of there was a bunch of people playing that whole night.
Yeah, usually play
Yeah.
a stage, right? A Nord stage.
Do, but
Yeah.
luckily, if I don't have to carry that thing
I know.
anywhere.
Well, today
Yeah.
you're going to have to slum it on my Electro 3, which is only 18 pounds, by the way.
Yeah, I know. That's
So
great.
it does say that Jen Kearney, did you pronounce your name Kearney?
It's actually Kearney.
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 So
Thank
the
you for
park
telling me
ranger
that.
was right.
Yeah.
He pronounced it Kearney, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm sorry.
the
That's
park,
okay.
the park ranger got it wrong, but he was right.
There's vowels in there.
So you can't, you should
make it
never doubt the
confusing.
park ranger.
Yeah.
That's right.
You should always
Shouldn't.
believe what he says.
Kearney.
Kearney.
Jen Kearney, who was nominated as Best R&B/Soul Act,
Oh, right.
gave an amazing performance. So that was 2012.
Right.
Okay.
No wonder I don't remember any of it. Sorry.
When did you start playing out on, what is your background? You grew up in Boston area,
Yep.
okay, and did you go to school for music?
I did. Not at Berkeley.
Okay.
I couldn't read music when I was going to be, I was 18.
Yeah.
I still couldn't, I didn't know what a G clef was.
Yeah.
I just played by ear all my life. And
Okay. Really? But you're a piano player,
yeah.
and you know your music.
No,
Interesting.
I do now
You do
a
now,
little.
yeah.
But not, I've
Because
learned
you're a great
a lot.
piano player. I mean-
Thanks. I've learned a lot in the years since.
Mhm.
But yeah, I couldn't read music when I was going to school, so I ended up actually going to UMass Lowell because they let me audition and gave me a shot, and I stayed there for a while. I didn't finish,
That's okay.
but I did. I studied under some other nice, great private teachers, and
And when you left there, or when you stopped going there,
Yep.
anyways, did you go right into playing? This
Yeah,
is
I started
your career.
playing open mic nights, and I wouldn't say I was full time at it because I was kind of just still having to have a job and
Yeah,
juggle it all. But yeah,
but that was the goal.
that was the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And teaching as well. During that
No,
time, or is that a recent?
I didn't teach until probably 7 years ago ish. It's because I had to sort of learn how to read before I could teach, because you don't want to
Yeah.
be counting the lines and spaces with the kids. So, yeah.
All cows
Yeah.
eat grass.
Right.
Do you know what that is, Chuck?
Just be quiet.
It's back to cows. That's why I,
I know.
wanted to bring the
Yeah.
conversation.
Gotta let it go, man.
Sorry.
Gotta let go of the cow.
Okay.
Time.
So you had this as you've decided to move in that direction. When did have you always been writing? Had you always been writing before you got to college, or something that happened afterwards?
No, I didn't really write songs. I didn't sing until after college. I just
Really?
played the piano. Yeah, I didn't sing till I was 20-ish.
You didn't know you had until you started using it after
Yeah.
college.
Yep.
My goodness, have you taken lessons for singing at all?
Probably 4 or so.
Wow.
Just to see. I've taken some lessons with Mark Baxter, who's in. He's really good. He's like a preservist. Like he knows so much about the voice and
So you don't
making
blow it
sure
out.
you're not. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go to him to make sure I wasn't killing
Like
the
preventative.
voice. Yeah.
That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah. He's really great. If you can ever.
So when you
Get some-
sang, did you sing as a kid? But just did anyone realize that you could carry a tune fairly well?
Here's the funny thing about touching on the low, the alto part
Right,
that I played the violin in school. I faked the reading all the time. Just
Wow.
played it. But
You're playing all these really hard instruments that usually require some kind of notation
yeah, I guess
experience. But good for you.
And then I was in like chorus. Thank you. But chorus needed, I don't know, they always need sopranos, but it's this, they kind of just threw me into that. So I would sing a lot of like falsetto, and then I was in a high school band and I would sing a lot of Led Zeppelin, so a lot of like high Robert Plant kind of falsetto. So I really developed that part of my voice. And then actually when I met these two guys in college that were doing the open mic night that I kind of went to after I decided to leave college, one of them said, like, you know what, you're not really singing with your voice. You know, you're kind of doing this like frilly thing. And so that kind of hit me, and I started to explore really sort of belting things out. And it, you know, it was a little wonky at first, of course. And
Yeah.
just kind of went from there. So yeah.
Wow.
That's why that.
Well, there's so much about your voice too that it's the quality of it, of course, and the I guess uniqueness, but it's the ear. Because I remember when you sang, you know, in the recording session, but also just live, of course. You know, there's something about the ear with people that can sort of, you know where to go. It's just like playing
thanks.
the keyboard or playing a guitar like a soloist.
Yeah.
And so
Right, you can
that's-
riff. It's not just singing the.
Oh,
I mean,
thanks.
you're someone who can kind of just wing it when you're up there too, as far as like, you know, just kind of going oohs and ahs and things like that, and taking a word in different places without having it be something that you've memorized. You're obviously not thinking about it while you're doing it. And so
Thanks.
that's the great thing about it. This is just about us throwing love at you. I hope you
take
realize
it.
that.
I'll take it. I'll
So-
take the free glass.
So
I'll
you get a
take
free
the
glass, you
bumper
get a sticker, and a lot of love coming our way.
That's all you need.
So when did you start? So you said you started doing open mics.
Yeah.
How long have you been? How long were you with this band? Have you been with this band from the beginning? Have you been through a couple different bands and stuff like that before this one?
Yeah. So the open mic thing led to a really cool thing. I don't know if you guys know these guys, but Kevin Stevenson and Scott Pittman, they were in this band called the Shods.
No,
they
I
were
don't
also
think
previously in this band called Duck Duck, and they were pretty popular.
Boston?
This was in Lowell, and they also took, you know, they were pretty big in the Boston scene as well. But they did this project. It was called the Poorhouse Sessions, and they started their own like fake label. They found this reel-to-reel at a yard sale, and they decided they wanted to record local songwriters as though Sam Phillips had done it. So just with like two mics in the room, like very Elvis Presley with delay, and so
just gathered around the microphone, kind of.
yeah. Well, yeah. So I think there's probably like 12 songwriters on the album from like the Lowell and Boston areas, and we just all recorded these live songs. So I really kind of learned how to write a song and have it be like recording ready for the studio, because you couldn't overdub, or it's just going to be
reel to reel. It's like one
reel to reel.
take,
Yeah.
right?
So we did that. Not only did I do my own songs, but we would all just show up and play on each other's songs. Like I'd play piano for people, or so that sort of started getting me into that whole.
So the recording process really kind of drew you into it.
To songwriting? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, going to open mic nights and listening to other people's songs, and then deciding I wanted to try to do that too, and then having this recording project where I had 2 songs on that album.
Yeah.
Which was cool. It wasn't like a whole album right away. It was just 2 songs that were kind of shaped by the band that was in the room. So it's kind of old school.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a great way to I was glad that that's the way that I started, because I think it teaches you, especially about studio time. It's not cheap, and
no, it's not.
You can wing it these days, but it's like, it's nice to have, it's just, it's good to have at least a sort of a plan. And I think I've just always had that mentality now that, get your song as done as you can, I guess,
Yeah, that's
in your head.
That was our goal when we went in. It didn't end up being that way since we changed so much of our songs when we were in the studio.
But that's kind of the cool thing about now, I guess.
Yeah,
is that you can.
It does help, but
Digital.
and there's still that kind of fear once they hit record, and for some reason your fingers don't work or something. And, But there is that freedom. At least you know you're not wasting all that tape anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never recorded on tape, so I don't. But
really?
I can imagine.
Yeah.
That it's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we left, it was very raw. Like we definitely left. There was a few tracks, not mine, but there was one where the phone rang in the middle. They left it.
Okay, that's good.
It's just really.
That's what they did in the
That's what we do here. We let the train go by.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah.
When you play live, I'm just sort of thinking about I've seen you play and heard you play with keys and a little bit of guitar, more actually not live with the guitar.
I saw this video of you playing the guitar. I saw that.
Yeah, the video.
Okay, yeah.
But live in person, do you do any performances where you just sing?
Yeah. I mean, not usually with my own original stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes with my original stuff, if I have a second keyboard player, or if I have...
Because I know, you did in the Lost Onion, you had another keyboardist, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
They're
fantastic
busy.
band.
They're busy.
Fantastic
Yeah,
band.
So, and speaking of that, the Lunar Interlude tune,
Oh, yeah.
We were
I
just listening
love
to
that.
Thanks.
Did you write that one?
I did.
Yeah. I mean, I figured you did, but it was on the album. But it's funky, but it's just very tasteful funky and so tight and there's no lyrics.
Right.
Right. You had a sort of a concept album thing for Year of the Ox.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then for Age of Blame, did you have a thought in mind, sort of pre-writing, that you wanted to create a concept album, or no?
This one wasn't so much. I mean, a little bit. I think all of them. I think you don't have a choice when you write a certain time period of your life that it's gonna sort of tie in, to what's going on. There's gonna be, unless it takes 13 years like Axl Rose. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you're writing what you're going through at the time, and so it's kind of a collection like that. I mean, it wasn't as specific as the Year of the Ox because that was more. I even tied in like melodic things or.
Yep.
Lyrical things together. But this was more, Age of Blame, that is, was more just an album. I mean, I guess you can call it conceptual in a way. I mean, it has it has sort of similar threads with lyrics going on.
Yeah. And the lyrics themselves, let's say take Sanctuary Sabotage, for example. Mm-hmm. Do you hear a melody first and then sort of have a concept of a lyric and try to match it? Or are you sort of the type of person that you write down almost a poem and then create music to that?
In that case, because it's always different, it's like, it's just, I don't really have I wish there was a good formula that made sense and didn't make me crazy when I write songs. I mean, I literally kind of can drive myself a little to the edge sometimes with like how much I think about everything. But that in particular was kind of like a poem. And then I just, I wrote the song separately and kind of put them together. So that's often how things go.
Sometimes you start with lyrics.
Yeah. I mean, it was a poem. So I didn't,
or words. Or
words, yeah. I mean, I write a lot of journal things and just to keep myself writing things because I feel like little things come out of all the like jabber in your head. There's like one line that sometimes will come out that becomes a chorus or becomes something. So in that case, it was like a poem I was writing and I wrote the music later and then I kind of just thought they went together and made it fit. I changed some of the poem to fit,
Yeah.
Now, the music that you first started writing, was it your typical singer-songwriter stuff, or were you already doing like the funky kind of things that you're doing now, or is there kind of a genre that we're not even talking about yet?
I started with rock, I guess. I had like a rock trio. I played more guitar in that band. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, I used like, pedals to make dynamics happen, like distortion pedals. And
wow.
So I was just a bass player, a drummer, and myself. And we did sort of like rock. It was almost like I was really into Lenny Kravitz at the end of high school, and I loved that. He's just like that soul, but like really rock.
And you were in the electric guitar.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I can't like play lead or anything, but I can play
just heavy chords and stuff like that.
Yeah, rhythm guitar, and so that's what I started writing.
Cool.
They were simpler, but they were like rock soul,
So when did you start getting into funk?
I don't know. I feel like, I don't ever really like associate with being completely like, I've really extensively studied this style because I just don't want to feel like a poser about it. It's just kind of, I love listening to funk and soul and rock and Latin. And so I just feel like it kind of like, Well, the osmosis just, it just
Well, it's an
kinda comes out
interesting
and-
mix because you're doing funk and you're doing Latin in there too.
Right.
There's a lot of that stuff. Is that
Right.
is that some of your background at all? The
Latin? No, I'm not. You mean like
it's from your family or something like that? You listened to that growing up or something like that?
Actually, no. I listened to like probably Santana.
Yeah.
Who knows? That's about it
Yeah.
as far as what I knew about
Right.
like real. But then I did a stint I went to culinary school also after
I didn't know that.
music school. Yeah, two things
After
that really
music
make
school?
a lot of money: chefs and musicians. After music school, yep, I got into cooking pretty passionately, and then I worked at a bakery. That was, you have to be up at like 3.
Yeah,
and you
screw that.
Yeah, screw that. But
Time
the only
to
thing that'll
make.
keep you up is I was gigging too.
You would gig till 2,
Yeah,
and then you go to the bakery.
yeah. I just kind of wouldn't.
That's the only
sleep.
way to do it.
And then you'd pass out into the flour. That's what you.
But the way I didn't pass out was that I would listen to Con Salsa, till, well, actually that's only until 3. There was some AM station that played, it's all
so you're
Latin
listening
music.
to Latin music on the radio.
Yeah.
Ah.
And like just in the bakery by myself, like dancing around and making cakes, at 4 a.m.
Because I love the fact on the album, you've got the funk kind of song, and then it goes. The next song is like a Latin,
Right.
And I love having them both on the same album.
I think it
Yeah.
doesn't hurt that the players that are on this particular album, that they are really like, if you want to talk about funk, these are kind of
solid.
They're just very solid. They've been playing at the same residency for a bunch of years. That is like the funk night.
Where is that?
At Wally's in Boston. So they,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Amy Bellamy and Aaron Bellamy and Pete. They've all
Oh, I
been
didn't
playing. So
know
they
they
have
would-
this like Jedi. Like those guys, when they play together, it's just like stay
think
out
that's
of the
probably
way and
a-
hope that you can
That's a good way to describe
tread
it as
water.
Jedi. That's really neat. I didn't know that they had that Wally's connection.
Yeah.
You know what I love about Wally's more than how
Yeah.
great the music is?
Yeah.
It's the only place in Boston that you can go and there's African Americans and white Boston, literally 50-50.
Really?
Yeah.
Where is it? Where's Wally's?
It's-
And everyone's there. It's downtown near. It's sort of on the border of Roxbury and South Boston.
Yes.
Right. It's near BMC, Boston
I have
Medical
been
Center.
there. I have been there.
It's like a brownstone. It's the
Years
first
ago I've been
Yeah.
there.
And I remember. I mean, I haven't been there in probably 5-6 years, but I've always been just amazed. You walk in and it's
just a mix of
I
people.
hate to use the word, but it's colorless almost. It's just like it's jazz.
Yeah. Well,
I
and
don't know.
I
It's
think
kind of it's special.
yeah. It's African American owned. I think it's one of the first venues that was in that area, like since the 40s. I think they've been around.
Really?
I'm
That
not sure.
long?
You probably
No,
should look it up. I don't
You're-
want to be
you're-
wrong, but
well, I can do my research.
yeah,
I have an
But
internet here.
yeah. I mean, that's where a lot of the kids from the music schools that are in Boston go to cut their teeth or learn whatever. And
Yeah, because it's
you
near
know,
Berkeley.
Yeah, it's,
So you live in Maynard.
yeah.
And I know you play in Lowell a lot. Are there places that you play that you gravitate to that you play a lot at
I
around
don't-
here in Boston?
Yeah, I like in Boston. I like the Lizard Lounge a lot. I think it's just cool. Feels like a party.
Yeah.
And we used to play at church. That's now gone.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Yeah, I guess I'd love to play some of the bigger venues. It's just they're changing a lot. It's all changing ownership so much. It's hard to reestablish those.
We did that festival. You didn't you do the festival
Lowell.
at Lowell?
Yeah.
You playing that festival in Lowell?
Oh, the folk festival.
The folk
yeah,
festival
I mean, I
there?
did live in Lowell for a very long time,
Yeah.
so I do a lot of
There's a lot of great stuff
there's
going on in Lowell.
there is, yeah. The Los Lobos show was actually part of the summer music series that they.
Right, the Summer Music Series.
Yeah, so I've played a bunch of those, opening for really cool acts that I was like, wow,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been lucky.
Yeah, and Daryl Hall. You opened up for Daryl Hall.
Daryl Hall, yeah.
When was that?
That was,
I've heard of him.
yeah, that was like maybe 2012 or 2011 or earlier. I don't know. It's all hazy to
That's
me.
cool. So he did his own show.
Did you invite
Like
him?
so-
Dad, did he invite you to his house yet?
He didn't.
He should.
It's funny because he actually took a little plane, and I guess he landed in Beverly by accident instead of Bedford.
Oh,
which is
really?
where the Hanscom, right?
Yeah,
Air Force, yeah.
Hanscom's in Bedford. Yeah.
So he was late, so we played an
Concord.
extra I don't know, half an hour at least
Oh,
until he
okay.
could get from Beverly. So I didn't.
So he
meet
owes you.
Daryl.
He owes you
me.
for
Yeah.
covering for him.
Yeah.
Then he should definitely.
I didn't really get to meet him, unfortunately. And stuff.
Oh,
Los
well.
Lobos, I did. They
When
were
he
really
hears
sweet.
this, he's going to feel badly.
Yeah.
And he's going to know that he should invite you to his house.
Yeah. Well,
Actually,
That'd be
speaking of Daryl and his house, he has the Jen Kearney perspective because he plays music in this really cool studio and then he cooks with them.
Oh,
and they
right.
have a chef.
Daryl's house,
So
live from
that's-
Daryl's house.
yeah.
Nice.
That's right. You could go and you could play from them, then you could cook for them.
Yeah.
What are you going to do next, you think?
Yeah, that's my next question.
Oh, really?
What's next for you? What's next?
As far as gigs go?
As far as you going to go back in the studio soon? Are you writing right now?
Yeah, I'm just writing right now. And I historically have not been a prolifically fast. Is that prolifically a word? Maybe
Sure.
they're redundant. I haven't been prolific about,
Yeah.
writing a ton of songs. They just sort of come in these batches, I guess.
Oh, I saw you did the Tiny Desk concert video.
Yeah.
You did that one too. I saw you do that one.
Yeah,
That was
that's
fun.
fun. Yeah.
To the Moon?
No. I did Age of
What'd you
Blame for that one.
Oh, Age of Blame. That's right. Yeah.
It was just me and Pete. We did
Yeah.
White Stripe style drums and keyboards. And
Yeah. But was he playing a cajon? I didn't see.
No,
what
he was playing a drum kit.
Oh, I
He's
couldn't really tell,
Really, it was, he was very subtle about it.
Yeah.
Quiet.
Yeah.
And you haven't left Boston.
No.
You like Boston.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a great, thriving music scene. I think it still is. I think it seems to have a little bit less of a reputation than LA and New York, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's two magnificent music schools
Right.
that people come from everywhere to go to. So then these people from everywhere go and play these clubs, and that's, that's what you kind of a magical formula.
Right.
So
We're actually going to
It's true.
a conference next week. I can't remember who's running it, but it's a conversation about the state of Boston music venues and
Right.
how a lot of them are. It's in Allston, I think.
Yeah.
We're going to. It's on Monday night.
yeah, I think I saw that.
We're going to go check that out and see what people have to say.
Cool.
But
Be
but
interesting.
yeah, you just mentioned church was gone and
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But
It's got to be hard to keep things open when people want to stay home and watch Netflix. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's hard to get.
It is.
harder to get people off the couch now because.
But other towns are kind of stepping up. I mean, Lowell has
Yeah.
a lot of music there
Yeah.
going on now, and I think even Maynard isn't Maynard having some music.
A little bit.
A little
I
bit,
don't
right?
know. I haven't been here too long.
Oh,
It's
okay.
only been a couple months, so I, literally still have boxes that I'm trying to
Oh, so you've been,
determine whether I should just
so that's soon you've been there.
Yeah.
sell them or.
Yeah, there's I think Serendipity Cafe or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of a neat little place to
Yeah,
play.
they have acoustic type
Yeah.
stuff. Actually, some friends of mine have played there and
Yeah.
hung art there, and it's got a cool little artist.
Yeah, it is a
vibe
cool
over there.
colony there.
Yeah.
Well, there's a Nord keyboard behind you,
So there is.
and we'd be honored if you would sing and play something for us if you're up for doing that.
Okay, well, I can try that.
Can you do that for us?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's going to be really hard sitting where you are, though.
it's
'cause
true.
it's-
That's true.
We'll move things
we'll have to
around.
move it, yeah.
Okay.
But before you do that, how can people find out where you are playing and all that? I know there's JenKearney.com,
Right. .com.
right? And
Yeah.
and you keep that up to date pretty well. I've been looking at that.
Try to.
You try to?
Who did the sort of the sketch of you? That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
This guy named Alexei Nalipa.
That's
He
really
does
neat.
that. Yeah, he does these watercolors while you're playing. He'll do. He does.
Oh.
He's one of those
He's
guys that can
inspired.
do.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I just thought I want to make a T-shirt out of it. I love that
Totally.
watercolor so much.
And you have 3 albums out. Eat,
Yes.
Year of the Ox, and Age of Blame.
Yeah.
And do you have any vinyl? Do you have anything on
No,
vinyl?
I wish.
I know. That's one of my goals. I want to get something
Yeah.
I do on vinyl.
Chuck loves
But you
vinyl.
do have
Yeah.
you do have them on CDs.
I do.
Of course, and you can get them on iTunes.
Yep.
And where else can you get them? From your site?
Yeah, from my site, I think you can probably go through all the normal It's on Pandora and Spotify also.
Right.
If you want me to get
We,
0.000.
we encourage everybody to buy the physical
Yeah.
artifact.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's nice.
Definitely go to JenKearney.com.
Yep.
Can you
and
spell
pick
that,
up.
Chuck?
I can spell a lot of things.
It's just
but
JEN.
There might be
Yeah.
children listening. Yes, it's just JEN. All right. Well, let's hear something. You know what you want to play for us?
Sure. I think I'll just play Age of Blame. I think that's
Great.
it's easy solo one to do.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. Let's hear this. You ready to go?
Sure.
All right. Hit it.
Can't make sense of it all. Oh, mending fences or building walls.
So that's our show for today. We would like to thank Jen, of course, for taking the time to speak with us, and Woods Hill Table for their hospitality and letting us record. If you want information about Jen, you can go to jenkearney.com. You can purchase her latest album, Age of Blame, or other albums, of course, on iTunes and CD Baby. Check out our own website at abovethebasement.com, where you can sign up for our newsletter, listen and subscribe to our podcast, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and look at all the nice pictures we always post on Instagram. We are everywhere. On behalf of Chuck and myself, please tell your friends about Above the Basement. Thanks for listening. And remember, Boston music, like its history, is unique.